Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming a tutorial using some green shades. I'm going to be using NUDESTIX again. I literally love them and I can't get enough of them. We've got Night Dweller from the Hilary Duff collaboration with NUDESTIX, and we've also got Queen Olive. This one is a firm favourite with a couple of my clients. If it is available, I will link it below for you. Any kind of green metallic shades will do in order to be able to replicate the look. The foundation I'm going to use is the Authentik Skin Natural Luminous Foundation by ZOEVA. I've used this before. This is really beautiful and they've just released a new concealer to go along with it. They kindly said they will send me some shades that match my skin, so as soon as they come in I'm going to use both of them in a tutorial to show you. I'm going to use this brush by IT Cosmetics. It's the Heavenly Skin CC Skin Perfecting Brush number 702. It's got groundbreaking anti-aging skincare infused brush hair. So as I said, this foundation is luminous. The shade I'm using is 140N, which stands for neutral, and it's called Energetic. All the shade names are kind of meant to inspire you. They're really nice. So even though this is neutral, it's still a little bit more yellow than my actual skin tone, but that's fine because once it's settled in, we'll go in with some concealer and lighten the centre of the face. I've got a few blemishes coming up. Great. But this is really good because it does cover really well. Don't forget to take it down your neck. Your chest normally retains a bit of colour from the summer, so you can take it down your neck and then by the time you finish it tends to match a little bit better. A little tip, when you're brushing foundation over your nose, sometimes it can separate and you just kind of look more pory. Take your brush and just dab it in a stipple motion over the sides of your nose, even over the sides of your pores here, because that would just give you a much more flawless finish. I promise you, it's a real game changer. It's a nice way to finish off the centre of your face because that's where we tend to have kind of more visible pores, a little bit here on the forehead, sides of the nose, on the cheeks and around your chin. The first shade I'm taking is the NUDESTIX Night Dweller. This is the Hilary Duff collaboration and I'm running that along the root of the eyelashes and buffing it upwards using a brush. You don't have to use this shade underneath, you can just use the one shade which is Queen Olive. However, I feel having this colour underneath Queen Olive just helps to add a little bit of depth to the look. You'll see when I apply Queen Olive on its own underneath those lower eyelashes, there is a little bit more of a yellowy undertone to it compared to having Night Dweller underneath, which almost gives it a more graphite undertone, which is really nice because again, that's a kind of smoky eye that suits everybody. So although the predominant result is still quite olive, it is a graphite olive, if that makes sense. I've mentioned it time and time again, NUDESTIX are so easy to work with. You can use a brush to blend it out or you can just use your finger. I'm using a brush with synthetic bristles because this works best when you're using a cream based product and the pencils are cream based. Whether you pull the colour out is completely up to you. It really does suit my eye shape to wing eyeshadow out, and this one is going to be a little bit more of an almond shape, so we are winging it out just to elongate the shape of the eye. Everything I do can be adapted to suit your own eye shape, so you go with whatever your personal preference is, whether that's a rounded eye or one that's more winged out. Next we're going in with Queen Olive, and again this is another NUDESTIX pencil and it has a metallic finish. So we applied Night Dweller as our base, so we're going to basically trace over exactly where we applied that colour, but we're also going to take this slightly higher up to where the socket line is. And then when we buff out the socket line, that area will be very soft, whereas the colour that we've got on the eyelid is going to be a lot more opaque because we've already got a base under there. Again, feel free to stick with just the one shade, you don't necessarily have to use two, but you will find that having that little darker shade underneath will help just in making it look a bit more smoky and adds more depth. If you're used to working with powder eyeshadows, you will tend to find that it can take quite a while to get a beautiful blend, especially if they're matte finishes. You often have to use a variety of different transition shades to create a beautiful ombre effect. You'll see with these that it is so effortless and so seamless and so quick. Definitely give them a go if you've never tried it. And what's great is they do come in pencil form, so you can just throw them into your bag and you're good to go. You can take them out wherever you're going if you need to top up your eye makeup or you want to intensify it, you want to go from day to night, shove them in your bag and you are literally good to go. So now I've blended the top of my eyelid, I'm now taking the same shade, which is the Queen Olive, underneath my lower eyelashes, and I'm taking it quite far down and just blending it out to give us a beautiful smoke. Across my waterline, I'm applying this black eyeliner by Huda Beauty. This is great because it's actually dual-ended, so one side is a liquid eyeliner and the other side is a kohl pencil, and it's so soft so it applies really easily and it's really intense black. Now again, this step is optional. If you've got quite small eyes, you might want to avoid applying a black kohl pencil. If you do want it to be quite smoky, go underneath your lower eyelashes so it just makes your eye look a little bit bigger, and apply a cream coloured pencil along your waterline. On the outer half of my top lid, I'm creating a wing, but I'm keeping it relatively straight because this is what's going to almost make the eye look a bit more feline. And you'll see from the end result, it does make my eyes look wider rather than taller, if that makes sense. If you go for a rounded shape eye, the actual lid itself looks taller, and if you go for more of a wing shape, then it makes your eye look longer. So when you're creating your makeup, bear in mind what you want the end result to be and what you're trying to achieve before you start applying your eye makeup. I'm using what's left of that kohl pencil on my smudger brush, and I'm just smoking it up on the outer wing, and you can see what a difference it makes. The mascara I'm going to use is by bareMinerals. This is called Lashtopia. This is a really nice mascara. It doesn't clump your lashes don't feel hard and crispy, they feel really soft, and it's a mineral based mascara which contains conditioning and nourishing properties, which you can definitely feel because your eyelashes always stay relatively flexible but they don't stay sticky. To further accentuate the outer half of my eye, which is that look that we're going for, I'm applying 4 cluster lashes on each eye, and this just helps to accentuate the outer half. If you find that applying eyelashes is quite daunting, I'm going to leave a couple of my tutorials on screen for you because I have a few eyelash hacks and how-tos. As you can see, it's nothing too intense, but it just makes that outer half look a little bit fuller and fluffy. I'm now taking the bareMinerals bareSkin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer. This is in the shade Light, and this is just going to lighten the centre of my face. And I'm using the new ZOEVA 146 Concealer Perfector brush. This is their concealer brush that has been designed to go with their new concealers. It's got a really beautiful arc to the top, which is perfect for working it underneath the eyes. You can dab it in, you can swipe it. Sometimes I find some concealer brushes are just too small and it makes it take longer to blend it in. This is brilliant. It's synthetic, so it works with both cream and powder. You do get some powder concealers. They're normally like a powder to cream. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder. This is in this beautiful little palette, which is the Glowing Pretty Skin palette by Charlotte Tilbury. The brush I'm using is by ZOEVA, no surprises, and it's the 101 Luxe Face Definer brush. So I'm just popping a bit of powder on through the centre of my face, just to set everything and make sure there's not too much shine, because I am oily, so I'm going to get shiny throughout the day anyway. I'm going to use my Faux Tan Bronzer by bareMinerals. This is my favourite, and my favourite brush to apply it with is the 132 Luxe Powder Finish brush by ZOEVA. And we're going to use this just to sculpt the face. We don't want anything too intense because we want to keep the skin relatively natural because we've got quite a lot going on the eyes. So I'm just going to take that around the hairline. Going back to my Charlotte Tilbury palette, I'm going to take a little bit of this colour, which is called Summer Blush, and it's a corally pink shade, which looks beautiful when you're wearing kind of green tones on the eyes. Just going to pop a little bit of that on the apples of the cheeks, pulling the colour backwards. If you want to make it look more kind of fresh and dewy, you can use a cream blush, which will look beautiful. You know, I would normally opt for something by NUDESTIX because I absolutely love their blushes, especially the ones that give off a bit of a dewy glow because they're not frosted. They're just dewy and they're beautiful, but I use them so often I thought I would use something different today, and I haven't used a powder blush in ages, so I've just applied a corally kind of lipstick that's really soft and very nude, and it just matches the blush and goes beautifully with the green on the eyes. So if you want to go out with kind of glamorous makeup and feel like you've made the effort for an evening out or a special occasion, but you still don't want it to look too intense, a green smoky eye is perfect. It suits all eye colours. In particular, if you've got lighter colour eyes, it really makes them pop. But again, if you've got brown eyes or hazel eyes, it's great because it really brings out the warmer tones in your eyes. I know green shades aren't for everybody, but definitely give it a try because green is definitely not a colour I would ever gravitate to before doing YouTube. I do it on clients, but on myself it's not a colour I would wear, but I would wear this out because I think it's really beautiful. Because it's not a vibrant green, it's definitely more wearable. And I definitely advise not going too heavy with eyelashes, because when you've got quite kind of dark makeup, if you apply a greeny shade, you kind of want that to be visible. If you're wearing really thick eyelashes, it's going to look even darker. So wearing a couple of eyelashes just on the edges, just to accentuate your eyes and just to kind of elongate them and make them look a little bit more feminine, works perfectly with a dark eye without over intensifying it. Don't forget, all the products I've used will be listed and linked in the description bar below for your convenience. So as usual guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Don't forget you can follow me outside of YouTube on my social handles, which will be on screen for you now. And if you missed last week's tutorial, it will also be on screen. Thanks for watching and I'll see you again soon. Bye!